Hello, everyone. Welcome to 2D Board Gamers. My name is Dave,
And I'm Dirk.
and today we're going to look at our five deck ideas for Winter Soldier. Um,
Down there.
so, if you haven't seen one of these videos before, deck one is modifying the precon a little bit, and then Dirk has come up with two decks, and I have come up with two decks, and yeah, so we will see how it goes. But first, let's kind of do a quick review of Winter Soldier. Um, so he is a 2/2/2 lethal protector. Shield genius. He's not Venom, but he is a lethal
Field folder,
protector.
yeah.
Shield soldier, yes. Response: after you attack and defeat an enemy, remove 2 threat from a scheme. So that's pretty good. You're doing some thwarting. You know, you could be like he's coming in aggression, but he's going to be able to remove a lot of threat. So to really help your justice player, or maybe not even needing a justice player.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me, just of what we've seen of him so far, a little bit of a evolution of the Gamora theme,
Yeah.
to where he's doing both at the same time.
Yeah. All right. Oops. His alter ego.
All right, so Bucky Barnes here is recovers for 3. He's got a hand size of 6 and 11 hit points, or no, is that 11? Yeah, that's 11.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. He is a shield soldier, and he has cybernetically enhanced. So as an action, you can spend a resource of any type to search your deck and discard pile for the cybernetic arm and put it into play. Then shuffle your deck. So basically, the cybernetic arm kind of reminds me of his shield.
Yep. So cybernetic arm, it costs 1. So like if you drew it, you could discard it when you're mulliganing, because it costs 1 whether you,
or you could use it as a resource too.
Yeah, you could
use it, pull it back.
Yeah, that's true. You can spin. Yeah, that's true. That's even more efficient, I guess.
Well, no, because then you got to spend a resource to get it back. So
yeah, that's true.
I guess it's even, unless you. Oh no, unless you spend it on a resource that is permanent,
right?
Like a helicarrier or something,
right?
So that would work. Yeah.
Exhaust cybernetic arm, generate a wild resource for an attack event. That attack deals 1 additional damage. So it's giving a buff to your attacks. Peter is not cooperating. Okay. So he comes in with a lot of attacks. We're not going to go over all these, but each of these would have +1. So he's got a metal punch that does 7. If you exhaust the arm, it gains overkill. So it would do 8 with overkill. This one is probably my favorite of his. On the arm block, it's an attack and defense. When an enemy attacks you, deal 3 damage, so 4 damage if you use the arm, and you prevent all damage from the enemy attack.
Using the arm. You do have to use the arm.
You have to use the arm for that part.
Or actually,
yes.
If you exhaust it, yeah.
Yeah. Come on. There we go. And then he's got the Winter Mask, which gives you the spy trait. So these are all things that are going to be important in some of the decks that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, that one should probably. I'm expecting that one to really show up in the Justice. In the Justice deck.
After you attack and defeat an enemy, exhaust Winter Mask and draw a card. Silent Infiltration. So after you attack and defeat an enemy, discard, ready your hero and confuse an enemy. So you ready your hero, confuse an enemy, and you're getting +1 damage, and you're drawing and you're removing 2 threat.
And if you notice, it's a preparation.
Right.
That'll come in handy.
Electrical discharge, deal 4 damage to an enemy, so it'll be 5 with the arm, and the arm generates a wild, so you would stun, and so that's good. And then that's just a safe house. Okay, so
that's the safe house.
That's the safe house. I mean, it is nice. I mean, it search the encounter deck for a minion and put it into play, engage with you, which is actually going to be important because with the precon, because the precon is an aggression deck and it's all about minions. So we got spoiling for a fight here. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until you discard a minion. Put that minion into play, engage with you, ready your hero. Aggressive stance after you engage a minion. So this attaches to that previous card. You get to search for an attack event and add it to your hand so that you can defeat the minion that you just got. Man on the wall. Play only if you have the shoulder trait. Exhaust man on the wall. Reduce the cost of the next card you play by 1 for each minion engaged with you. So again, it's all tying into the discount of that event that you just got.
Yeah, I bet Thor wishes he was a soldier now. Huh?
Yeah. We haven't gotten honorary soldier yet.
Yep.
And then we have the Captain America ally. So after Captain America enters play, ready a shield character you control. And Winter Soldier is a shield on the hero side, so that's good. And then we got super soldiers that team up with Captain America. So whether you play the Captain America hero or you've got this Captain America aggression ally or the Captain America leadership ally, this
Yep.
card would be good.
Yes, I do like the this one. This one is more versatile than a lot of the team ups, so I
Yeah,
like that.
but it costs 3,
Yes, it does.
which is kind of stinks. But
Yeah, but look what it does.
yeah, oh, and then we're okay. So deck one is modifying the precon. So of course that's aggression. So and the deck is minion focused, so there's going to be a lot of cards that are related to minions. So first of all, you want to read that one?
So we've got Bring It here. It's a zero cost event, max one per phase, not per player, but per phase. So as a hero action, you can draw a card for each minion engaged with you. So of course, yeah, like Dave said, a lot of minions. You're wanting to try to get as many minions as you can, and you'll be able to get some additional card draw out of that.
Okay. And then the next card is sort of a duplicate of Lethal Protector, but we got Chase Them Down. After a hero attacks and defeats an enemy, remove 2 threat from a scheme. And you got your Lethal Protector, so you can turn around and remove 2 threat from another scheme or from that same scheme.
Yep.
So now you're removing 4 threat instead of just 2 threat. This one is not quite related to minions, but I thought it was still pretty useful. 3 cost, drop kick, deal 4 damage to an enemy, and if you used only strength resources, stun that enemy. So the arm generates a wild, of course, and so we go. So the arm will could be 1 to pay for it. Then if you got like martial prowess, that's another strength. So it's not hard to get strength only.
Have the aerial trait, that enemy engages you. Now, of course, you don't have the aerial trait, and I don't know of a way to give it to him offhand right now.
No.
So you're probably not using that, but it does deal 1 damage to an enemy
Right.
for
But,
0
like
cost.
if there's an enemy that has only 1 hit point left, even if it's engaged with another player, you can still remove 2 threat with the
Yep.
lethal protector. So then we got Looking for Trouble. So you always want to have minions. So discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until you discard a minion, put that minion into play, engage with you, and then you get to remove 3 threat from the main scheme.
Oh, you like that? Next year, we've got Moment of Triumph. It's 0 cost event as a hero response. After you attack and defeat an ally or an enemy, you deal 1 damage to your hero for each point. Oh, wait, no. Heal 1 damage to your hero for each point of excess damage.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so if you hit him for like 5, but they're only an enemy they've only got 2 hit points left, you get to heal 3 with it. So it's pretty nice there.
By 1, it's a 1 cost event. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. If this attack defeats that enemy, deal 2 damage to another enemy. So if you defeat the first enemy, then you're also removing 2 threat with Lethal Protector. And then you can turn around and do 2 damage to a second enemy. And if that defeats that enemy, then you can remove even 2 more threat. So
Yep.
that's pretty good.
Okay, here we've got Precision Strike. It's a 1 cost event. And it's an attack, and you deal 2 damage to an enemy. And if it defeats him, you heal 2 damage from your hero. So in this case, you would deal 2 damage to the enemy. If you defeat him, you heal 2, and you can take 2 threat from a scheme.
Yep. All right. Then we
At a
got,
cost of 1.
since we're dealing with minions, we got Relentless Assault here. 2 cost event. Deal 5 damage to a minion. If you paid for this card using a strength resource, the stack gains overkill. Excess damage goes to the villain. So, of course, any excess damage would go to the villain. And again, you get to remove 2 threat because you defeated the minion.
And if you're lucky enough to defeat the minion and flip the villain, you do 4. Right here we got Skilled Strike. It's a 0 cost event. It is an interrupt, so whenever your hero makes a basic attack, it gets -2 attack.
Plus 2.
Oh, +2 attack for that.
Yeah.
So, yep.
So this is toe-to-toe. Hero action, choose an enemy. That enemy attacks you, deal 5 damage to that enemy. So yeah, you have to take an attack from it, but if you got a minion that has an attack of 1 or something, you take 1 point of damage and you turn around and do 5 points of damage. If you defeat the minion, then of course you can remove 2 threat. See the pattern here. All right, then we got a side scheme here called.
Keep up the pressure. So this is a player side scheme. I love these things. It's victory 0, so whenever you defeat it, it'll go away. But each player may search their deck and discard pile for an attack event and add it to their hand. And then that is until the end of the phase, each attack event deals 1 additional damage. So then you're already getting the damage from the arm if you're using it on one of his attacks that benefits from that. You'll get the scrap, but I mean, yeah, and you get to actually go and pull one of those attacks. So
Right.
that's a nice one, yeah.
And keeping with the theme of doing extra damage, we got aggressive energy. When you spin this card to play to play an attack event, that event deals 1 additional damage. So yeah, if you're using this and the arm for a spin to your card, of course, then you're going to get +2.
+2, and yeah,
And if you had defeated that side scheme, then it would be +3. So yeah. And what is this all leading to, Dirk?
Hall of Heroes. If you're getting all these minions and you're smacking them around this hard, you want the Hall of Heroes, because after you defeat one of these minions, you place a glory counter here, and you can exhaust it as an alter ego action to draw or to remove 3 counters to draw 3 cards. So, yeah, you could. I mean, you're probably not drawing the cards whenever you go down, because most of your deck isn't going to play whenever you're down. But yeah, at the beginning of your turn, you'll get the 6 cards from your normal draw, and then you draw an additional 3. So that's really nice, coming up with 9 cards.
Yeah. All right. Then we have Battle Fury. It's a 1-cost upgrade. After your hero attacks and defeats a minion, deal 1 damage to your hero and discard Battle Fury to ready your hero. So you can do more damage.
Yeah, and what's 1 damage to do more damage? It's worth it. All right, here, speaking of, we have Blood Rage. So Blood Rage is a 1-cost upgrade, max 1 per player. But after you defeat an enemy with a basic attack, you can exhaust it, deal 1 damage to yourself to draw a card.
Okay.
So
Then we got Combat Training, 2-cost upgrade. Play under any player's control, max 1 per player. You get +1 attack. So that helps with your basic ability.
You've got here Fluid Motion. It's a 1-cost upgrade. As a hero response, after you play an attack event, you can exhaust this card, and your hero gets +1 attack until the end of the phase. And you only can do 1 per attack event.
All right. And then what aggression deck is complete without home technique. 3-cost upgrade, requires 2 mental to pay for it. But when you play an aggression attack event, if you spit the mental, you get to add the cost of the card to the damage dealt.
Yeah.
Now this doesn't work with drop kick because you have to have all strength, but for any of the other attack events that we had in this deck.
Yeah, you've got wilds.
Aggression.
There's wilds that you're using. You only have to spend 1 after it's out. It does require 2 to play, but it's really nice. And a lot of times that home technique is going to be used for people like to build around larger attacks with it.
Right.
And this one, the attacks aren't as large, but there's a lot of them, so you can still get some use out of it because it doesn't exhaust.
And then I didn't put any of the attacks that anybody can use. I kind of went with the ones that I thought were really good with Winter Soldier. So like, yeah, if you wanted to use an uppercut, that'll do 5 damage with the home technique. That's 8. Use the arm for it. That's 9 now. Aggressive energy, that would be 10. So yeah.
Yes, you could still do that, but I kind of like the all the little ones there, just getting a lot of additional damage from them. Here we've got Lie in Wait. It's a 1-cost upgrade, so it's max 1 per player. It's a preparation, which I like, but it's an attack hero response. So after a minion engages you, you discard this, and you deal 3 damage to that minion. So yeah, and you're trying to pull in minions from other players and such. So yeah, so you can pull them in, kill them off, remove 2 threat. Always nice.
All right. Then we got Martial Prowess here. Cost 2. Play under any player's control. Max 1 per player. Exhaust Martial Prowess. Generate a strength resource for an attack event. So again, that's to help pay for.
See, we need to figure out a way to convert that to a mental resource.
Good luck. All right. Then I just have a few basics. Since he's shield on both sides, I kind of went with keeping a shield theme going a little bit. So we got this card. You want to read that one?
So this one's Nick Fury, and it's Nick Fury, but it's technically Nick Fury Jr. now. If you've got the newer, what is it? Is it Nick that comes in? If you've got Nick, so you'll have Senior coming up. But so Nick Fury Jr., he's a 4-cost ally. He's got 2 thwart, 2 attack. He's a shield spy, but the great thing about him is after he enters play, you can choose to either remove 2 threat from the scheme draw 3 cards, or deal 4 damage to an enemy. If he's still around at the end of the round, then you will discard him. But no, it's really nice to be able to use that. Those extra cards is what we tend to go for, but situationally we do use the other things as well. But
Right.
yeah.
And speaking of, here's Nick Fury Sr. After Nick Fury, he's a cost 4, 2/2, 3 hit points, shield soldier. After Nick Fury Sr. enters play, choose one. You can remove 3 threat from a scheme, draw 2 cards, or or a shield character gains a tough, which would be Winter Soldier, for example.
Yep. And then, like his son, he'll also go away at the end.
Right. And to keep with that going away at the end, this doesn't share any traits, but I like Professor X.
Dave likes that trio, though.
Well, yeah, the disposables.
Yeah.
Coming soon to the game in 2028.
So Professor X, he's a 3-cost ally. He thwarts for 3, which is really nice. He can attack, but you have to give him the attack. He's attacks for 0. It's not a dash like Hulk's thwart. But he's a psionic X-Men, so like Dave said, he doesn't really share the S.H.I.E.L.D. Theme. He's got 3 health. But after he enters play, you can choose to either confuse the villain, stun a minion, or ready an X-Men. The ready the X-Men is probably not going to be your choice, but the confusing the villain or stunning a minion, those are really nice. Yeah. Plus, I mean, that with a 3 threat removal, that's pretty good. At the end of the round, again, he's one of the disposables. If he's still in play, you'll discard him.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're playing multiplayer and the other player's playing an X-Men, then they might appreciate getting readied. All right, then we got War Machine here, who's, because I threw him in because he's shield. 4-cost ally, 2/2, 3 hit points, Avenger shield, toughness. War Machine's basic attack gains range.
Yeah, and there's some other shield allies that are in basic, but I think War Machine's a good fit. It feels like a good fit, and it feels right for Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I didn't pull all the shield allies because I can go crazy. Team building. Oh, this is for you.
Oh, so team building exercise. So it's 2-cost support. As a hero action, you can exhaust it, and you play a card from your hand that shares a trait with your hero, reducing the cost by 1. And of course, you've got the shield and the soldier traits. So while you're in hero form, so yeah.
All right.
And if you're doing a lot of shield cards, which we kind of leaning into in these decks, then that's a really good card.
All right, and then we got practice plan here. Right now, we've only seen one preparation card. But I've got a couple. Well, no, but one preparation card, I think, in his article.
His.
But I've got a couple preparation cards in this deck. So practice plan. After you discard a preparation card you control, discard practice plan. Return that card to your hand from the discard pile. I think it was only one. Maybe there was an aggression in here. Oh, aggressive stance is preparation as well.
Yeah, but no, I really like it with the one of his because of what that card does. That's a nice one to get right back in your hand because you ready and confuse. So that's really nice.
All right. So that was deck 1 modifying the precon. All right. So deck 2.
So deck 2 is going to be a leadership deck that I put together. And of course, we're going to start out with the best leadership card in the game, which happens to be S.H.I.E.L.D.
What?
Maria Hill. Now,
but with the Maria Hero, you can't play this card anymore.
I'll find a way. I will hide that deck when I want to play this.
I'm playing Maria Hill all the time.
Yeah, Dave's been talking about that. He's going to do it just to keep me from playing this card.
But I also have an anti one way or another deck too. So
I have actually lately been trying to build away from using Maria in all of my leadership decks. So I haven't been using her as much lately. But I mean, come on, think about it. She's S.H.I.E.L.D. I have got to use her in a S.H.I.E.L.D. character's deck if I'm playing leadership. So yeah, she is definitely going to be there. But she's a 2-cost ally, thwarts for 2, attacks for 1. But as a response, after she enters play, each player draws a card. Now, of course, this is going to be better in multiplayer, the more players you've got. But even solo, I mean, still being able to draw a card whenever you play her is nice. Because if you're playing team building, so then you're only playing Maria for 1, and you're drawing a card. So basically, in essence, you're not paying for her. She's just coming into play. So yeah, that's really nice. She's one of my favorites. I also pulled heavily out of the from the Maria deck just because a lot of those cards that the new Maria deck has, I thought played really well with Winter Soldier in a leadership deck here. But we've got Yo-Yo or Slingshot. Slingshot is a 3-cost ally. She thwarts for 2, attacks for 2. She's a shield spy. But as an action, you can spend an energy resource to put her from play into your hand. From play into play from your hand under any player's control. Yes, that's what I meant to say. So that, yeah, she can jump out there and she can, jump out and block for somebody else if she needs to. And if she survives.
At the end of the player phase.
At the end of the player. Oh, that's right. So she can jump out there and actually do something for another player. So if you draw her,
I mean, in a way, she can be. You don't get the card draw, but she's kind of like a 1-cost Maria, where you could jump her in. She can remove 2 threat at the cost of 1, or do 2 damage.
Yeah, and then at the end of play, if she's still in play, then she just returns to your hand.
Right.
So for a single energy, you can play her and then get her back, and she won't have any damage whenever you play her again.
Right. So if you also have ways to ready your ally, like Get Ready would be a good card with her.
Yeah.
You could activate her a couple times, and then at the end of the phase, she'll jump back.
Yeah, and I mean, I do like playing recursion decks, and she kind of feels like self-recursion to me. I did kind of like that. Then also another new ally coming from the Maria deck was Victoria Hand. She's a 3-cost ally. She thwarts for 2, attacks for 1. Also shield, but after she enters play, you can ready a shield support. So again, I'm kind of leaning into the shield theme here.
Are you adding shield supports to the deck?
I am adding some shield supports to the deck. Speaking of, very first one that I'm looking to probably add is the Circe. The Circe uses 2 deploy counters. It's a 6-cost support, but you can exhaust it to remove a deploy counter from it. Choose a player. That player puts an ally into play from their hand. So again, like I said, I kind of like recursion. So then you can actually, you can use this to pay for an ally for free. So that kind of definitely helps with the recursion thing.
Especially expensive ally.
Oh yeah. And then here I've also got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's another one I thought was great. It's a 3-cost support. It's a team card, so you can play it under any player's control, max 1 per player. But if each of your characters has the shield trait, then this card gains the ability to reveal as an interrupt when you reveal an encounter card. You can exhaust this, cancel the effects of that card, discard it, and draw another card. So it's a good way to get rid of some of the nasty encounter cards.
And it says encounter cards, that it actually works with like your player obligation as well.
Yep. Another one that I thought would be really good in here is the R&D facility. So the R&D facility, it does require 2 mental to play, so it can be a little bit more difficult to play. It uses 3 research counters, but you can exhaust this as a hero action, remove 1 research counter from it, and you could choose a friendly character and play, and that character gets +1 thwart and +1 attack until the end of the turn. So then whenever you're playing these characters out, especially if you're playing, like if you play Yo-Yo, if you and use this on Yo-Yo, then she's going to get those extras come back into your hand, and she won't have taken any damage. So that's nice there. And then let's see. Supports, I also had, now it's a support. It is not a shield support though, but I had team training.
Whoa!
Yes, I have team training in a Maria deck. Now,
wow.
There is a good chance I'm not playing this card. It's kind of on my short list, but I did think it was worth adding in here because depending on how the deck plays, I might actually decide to leave it in.
The world hasn't ended.
Yeah, because of the fact that, if I use the recursion on other things, and there's a couple of other cards actually in here that I did kind of like the recursion idea on, so I might be tempted to spread the recursion out a little bit so it actually would work if I did that. But this one, like I said, you play it under any player's control, max 1 per player, but each ally you control gets +1 hit point. So yes, it is still a recursion. I do want the allies to leave, but I've still got ways to do it.
It's an extra use for Yo-Yo.
Yes,
so
it is.
Do you have Get Ready in your deck?
I do have Get Readies in my deck.
Okay, because you can actually use her a couple times then.
Where is it? So speaking of some of those, like Dave said, Get Ready. Get Ready was a card that I love playing this. It works great with recursion decks because you can ready an ally and use them again, and get that extra consequential damage off of them to get rid of them.
Card that goes with it.
Yep.
Oh, you don't have a card that goes with it.
Not yet, but I will.
Okay.
It's because it's not in. They got out of order. This card wasn't supposed to be here.
Oh, that's not the card I was.
That's not the card you were talking about. I've got that one too. Make the call is another one here. Again, going with the recursion theme. This allows you to pay the printed cost of an ally from any player's discard, and you put that ally into play under your control. Again, like I said, recursion. I have typically used this almost exclusively for Maria in the past. I have used it for others, but I use it very heavily on Maria. But regroup is another one that I've got here. Regroup is one that you play this. It's a support, but as an interrupt, when an ally is defeated by an enemy attack, so it does have to be during the villain phase when they're attacking, or if they are attacking in some way during the hero phase, this would also still work. And you return that ally to your owner's hand instead of discarding it whenever they're defeated. As a force interrupt when the round ends, so after the villain phase, you would discard this card.
So it's like play that card, and then I'm going to play toe to toe.
Right. But I think the one Dave was talking about earlier with the get ready,
which it's off camera.
Yeah, it's off camera. There it is. Rapid response. So this one is also a preparation card. So that is great if you're using things to like the practice plan to be able to bring back preparation cards. Okay, practice plan. There we go. But what the rapid response does, it's max one per player, so you can only have one of them out at a time. It is an upgrade, so you can put it out and leave it out until you're ready to use it. But after an ally you control is defeated, it doesn't matter how they're defeated, as long as they are defeated and not discarded. Then you would discard their rapid response, and you put that ally into play from your discard pile, because they do briefly go to your discard pile, and you deal 1 damage to them. So then you can play a rapid response, then use a get ready to ready an ally, use them a second time, pop the rapid response, play another rapid response,
or the same
the ally
because of practice plan.
Yeah, if you've used practice plan. And so you can kind of chain those together a little bit. So that's a good way to actually, that's one of the ways you play multiple recursions in the same turn. If you've got that, that's kind of a key card for that.
Or you just play Nova.
Yeah, or you play Nova. That one works too. But command team is also a shield support here that I thought is great because it comes in with 3 command counters, but you can exhaust this, you remove a counter from it, and you can ready an ally. So it works the same as get ready, but it's on a stick and it's a shield support. Let's see, did I already do? Nope, haven't done this one yet. There's the one that was in the wrong place. So suit up is one that I saw it. It kind of it could work. I think it would probably be on my shorter list because it is one that it's a 2-cost event as an alter ego action. You search your deck and discard pile for an ally and an upgrade that can be attached to them, and you add both of those to your hand. So I don't play attachments as much. But because you are looking, it's a great way to actually get an ally out. So it actually could potentially be worth putting an attachment in to be able to do that.
Well, it's a resource.
Yes, and it is also
to help pay for it.
Yep.
I mean, worst case.
Yeah. But again, we're looking at a leadership deck, though. So this is, since it's come out, this has been one that I think I have tried to add to every leadership deck. However, in this one, it's got the added bonus. It is a 2-cost upgrade. The mission leader here, you do reduce the cost to play this if your identity has the soldier trait. And you will have the soldier trait when you are in hero form. You don't have it in alter ego, but you do have it in hero.
Oops.
Oh, no, you do have it in alter ego.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking he was spy on alter ego. So he has the soldier
trait. You just can't trigger the ability.
Yeah. So you can actually play this on the first turn before you come up. So it's already out there if you have it. But
1-cost discount.
Yeah, a 1-cost discount. So it'll only cost you 1. Actually, oh no, it doesn't share a trait with it. I was going to say, ooh, soldier, wait, play. No, you can't have it. It doesn't work with that. Yeah, it's title. But as a hero response, after a side scheme is defeated, you exhaust the mission leader and each player draws a card. So you do have to be in hero form to be able to use it. But with Bucky, you can play it when you're up or down and get that 1-cost discount. So like I said, it's even better with him than some of the other characters it's been out with. Some of the other cards here that I thought were great with this is since you're doing a lot of recursion, you're trying to get cards back. The Triskellion's a good card. It is a shield support, so you got the bonus there, but you can increase your ally limit by 1. And it does not have a requirement of whether or not they're shield. So, I mean, you can use this even if you're using an array of different allies.
You're saying the bonus, you're talking
Yeah.
about team building and
Yeah.
government
Yep.
liaison?
Team building and
I don't
government
remember
liaison.
showing those, but okay.
You showed them with, I thought, didn't you show them earlier? Okay, I was thinking Dave showed them with his deck. I wasn't paying attention to that part. I was sorting cards. But no, so if you've got team building, it's a basic card that allows you to play a card from your hand at a one-cost discount if it shares a trait with your hero. And government liaison does the same thing, but I think it's
The shield.
yeah, it's just shield. So you can use that, but it doesn't. It's not a hero action or a hero.
No, it is a hero.
Oh, it is a hero.
But you don't have to be shield to play.
Okay, yeah.
So anybody could put that in if you're playing a
Yeah.
shield heavy deck.
So yeah, so you could get the shield one on there, and with that, let's see, you can't combine them because they give you a discount when played. But yeah, so that would work. Another card here that I thought would be a good call for the leadership here is the organizational support that came with the Maria deck. So when you spin this card, you exhaust up to 3 allies and or supports you control that share a trait. And since we're looking at a lot of shield cards here, then you generate the printed resources on each card exhausted this way. So, that's a really nice one. And there's a lot of shield supports that you could use, basic and leadership as well. Another card that I thought that I liked in the deck here is leadership skill. So this is uses 3 leadership counters, max 1 per player. It's a 1-cost upgrade. But it's an interrupt when an ally makes a basic fort or basic attack action. You can remove a counter from there. They get +1 fort and +1 attack for that action. So it's a way to actually beef them up a little bit. I had some other cards here that were, let's actually go with this one here next. This is a basic ally, but because the recursion theme is kind of something Dave kind of showed me, and I think it actually would work really well in here. This is Grant Ward. He's a 0-cost ally. He thwarts for 2 and he attacks for 2, and he cannot defend, even though he has 3 health. But after you reveal a treachery card, you can spend a blue resource. If you do not, you take damage equal to his attack and remove him from the game. So, you're thinking, well, why would you want to do that? I mean, yeah, he's for free, but you can't block with him. You can basically probably only use him once unless you want to pay for it. However, you got things like, of course, you can ready him multiple times and use them, or you can use something like You Got This here. It's a 1-cost event. It's a hero response. After you exhaust your hero to make a basic thwart or attack, you discard an ally you control. There's an ally you control. And then you add that ally's matching power to your hero's power for this use and ready your hero. So you play Grant, you use something like, let's see, leadership skill to up him to a 3/3. Then you thwart or attack with him, either one you want.
No, with you. What you?
No. You use him first.
Oh.
Yeah, you'll use him first. He'll be exhausted.
Right. Yeah, okay.
But then you play you do a basic thwart or attack, depending on whichever one you need. You play the You Got This, you discard him, and then you're getting 3 added because you bumped it up. So then you're actually thwarting or attacking for 5 instead.
Right. So I have a video from my community deck series that I found that's this concept that someone from the community created that uses You Got This in Grant Ward. So yeah, that was pretty fun.
But with the Grant one, you've got a couple of different ways. I mean, if you don't have a You Got This, you could, like I said, use the things that ready you multiple times in a turn and use the ability that way. Or you've got this one, which is the preferred way to do it.
Right.
So that's why I said this one actually, because of Grant, might actually supplant the recursion for Maria, because I might actually try to find ways to recur him, like with Make the Call and something, because I kind of like that little trick. It sounds like a fun little trick to use.
Yeah.
So those are ones, but also I've got a couple. The last thing I've got here is a few allies. I got a couple of allies that I think they don't play into the shield theme, but they do play a little bit of the recursion. They're fun to recur. They're always worth adding in if you just want to have a little fun with it. Beast here, he's a 4-cost, so he's a little bit expensive. He thwarts for 2, he attacks for 2, but the great thing about him is after he enters play, you can search your deck and discard pile for a resource card and add that to your hand. So if you've got a double resource, you can play him, bring that back into your hand. And then if you recur, you can do him again Kalu's another great one. He's a 2-cost ally. He is an Avenger Mystic, thwarts for 1, attacks for 1. But after he enters play, you get to search the top 5 cards of your deck for an event, add that event to your hand, and shuffle your deck. And I do like to actually play Kalu to pull in recursion cards, but you could use it for any event. And the last one I've got here is, I don't know. She's always been one of my favorite Avenger heroes since I first read her comic years ago. Squirrel Girl. I love her, and she's just a fun one to play and a really fun one to recur. She thwarts for 1, she attacks for 1, costs 2, only has 2 health, but after she enters play, she deals 1 damage to each enemy. So she brings that army of squirrels with her. She hits everybody. So yeah, so there's a couple there at the end that don't really play into the shield thing. I do like the recursion on them; they're kind of fun. So you can always play around with them. But yeah, that was the leadership deck that I came up with for it.
All right. Well, that was deck 2. So now deck 3, I came up with a Justice deck. And this leans more towards attacking the attacking cards of Justice because of his lethal protector here, which is after you attack and defeat an enemy, you remove 2 threat. Now, I will have some normal Justice cards, like for Justice and multitasking. I didn't put them in here, but those will help supplement the deck. But these were cards that I thought specifically for Winter Soldier. So first with the allies.
Yeah, and actually, kind of speaking of the theme, I've actually liked that it seems like we're seeing more and more opportunity to thwart in aggression and to attack in justice. I do like that.
All right. So we got Agent Coulson here. He's a 3-cost ally, 2 thwart, 1 attack, shield spy. So team building or government liaison would lower the cost. 3 hit points. After Agent Coulson enters play, search your deck and discard pile for a preparation card and add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. So I got a few preparation cards in here, but also the article had one from his kit, which is this one, which is after you attack and defeat an enemy, discard this card, ready your hero, and confuse an enemy. So Agent Coulson could bring that card back. Then another shield we got here is Monica Chang. So
I love Monica.
Yeah, she's a 3-cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 2 hit point shield. After Monica Chang enters play, search your deck, hand, and discard pile for a copy of Surveillance Team Support and put it into play. Place 1 Snoop counter on it. Oh, yeah, Monica brings in a surveillance team, and it comes into play, right? Put it into play, yeah.
Yeah, it comes into play with an additional counter on it.
Right, yeah. So 2 costs support, uses 3 Snoop counters, exhausts surveillance team, remove 1 Snoop counter from it to remove 1 threat from a scheme. So I've taken a lot of these cards from Nick. So he took a lot of cards from Maria for his deck. I took a lot of cards from Nick.
Yeah, now this is one that it did come with Nick, but she's been around for a while. We've used her.
Yeah. She originally came in Black Widow, but yeah. Quake, 2-cost ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack, 2 hit points, avenge your shield. After a minion schemes, exhaust Quake, deal 2 damage to that minion. I kind of went just, if you have shield, you're in. 3-cost ally, Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 hit points, shield, web warrior. Reduce the cost to play Spider-Woman by 1 for each confused enemy in play.
And the silent infiltration confuses an enemy.
Yep. And then we have breaking and entering. It's 2-cost event. Play only if your identity has the spy or the thief trait. So I picked that because of this card.
Mask, right?
Yeah, the Winter Mask gives you the spy trait. So now you can remove 3 threat from a scheme, even an alter ego, because it's an action, not a hero action. That's the advantage of that card. Global Logistics. It's a 0-cost event. Shield tactic. Exhaust 1 shield card you control. Look at the top 4 cards of a player deck or the encounter deck. Discard any number of them and put the others on top or bottom in that deck in any order. So you can manipulate the encounter deck. So if you saw our playthrough, I used this a lot when I played Nick. It really helped.
Yeah, and I like the fact that it's an action, so you can play it in hero or alter ego. So that's nice.
Yeah. And then we have Homeland Intervention. It's a 0-cost event.
And Homelander is a different series.
I said Homeland and not Homelander. Homeland Intervention. Homelander needs to be intervened sometimes too. Shield tactic action: exhaust up to 3 shield cards you control and choose a scheme. Remove 2 threat from that scheme for each card exhausted that way. Then we got pivotal moment. It's a 2-cost event. So now we're back to some of the attacks here. Deal 2 damage to the villain, 5 damage instead if there's no threat on the main scheme. Scare tactic. It's a hero action. Deal 3 damage to a confused enemy. And there was that one card. Yeah, this one. Or after you attack a defeated enemy, discard, ready your hero, and confuse the enemy. So then you can turn around and deal 3 damage to the confused enemy. And if you happen to defeat it, then you can remove 2 more threat. So there's that too. We got Stealth Strike, 3-cost event. Hero action, attack, deal 4 damage to an enemy, and if that enemy is defeated by this attack, remove 2 threat from a scheme. And then, of course, with the arm, with the lethal protector, you can remove 2 more damage, or 2 more threat. Now, here's a card that's I never play, but in this deck, I might consider it. It's a 1-cost event, the villain schemes, and then deal 4 damage to the villain. It's an attack. That 4 damage, it might finish them off, and then you can remove 2 of the threat that the villain just added, so there's that.
But I mean, it's still fun. Just attack the villain as a Justice player.
Yeah. Turn the tide. After your hero thwarts and removes all threat from a scheme, deal 3 damage to an enemy. So this could turn around and maybe you're clearing out 2 schemes, because you cleared out the first one with even a basic thwart, and then you turn around and do 3 damage to an enemy, and if that defeats that enemy, now you can turn around and do 2 threat from another scheme. And now this isn't going quite confuse heavy as say Psylocke, but I did think of when I had that one preparation card that confuses. We got Upside the Head. It's a 1-cost event. After your hero makes a basic attack and damages an enemy, confuse that enemy, and if that enemy is already confused, stun that enemy. So you've got some stunning and confusing. So of course, when I play this deck, it'll be against someone who's stalwart, probably.
Oh yeah.
All right, then we got Waylay. It's a 3-cost event. Hero response attack. After your hero thwarts, deal 4 damage to an enemy, 7 damage instead if you remove the last threat from that scheme. Then this is one of my favorite player sites. I don't play the player site schemes as much as Dirk does, but this is one of the ones I do like. Lay the Trap, cost 1, victory 0. The player defeats this scheme, deals 5 damage per player to the villain, and it comes in with 3 threat per player.
Yeah, and that's one of them. We actually like to save that one till the second round, so that we can do a big swing toward the end.
Yeah,
I mean, we have used it earlier, but we tend to put that one off just a little bit, and we'll play the others.
The villain is down to 10 hit points. Yeah, in a 2-player game. Then we got Justice Served. Play under any player's control, max 1 per player. After you thwart and remove the last threat from a scheme, you can discard Justice Served to ready your hero. All right. So that was my deck 3, Justice.
Okay, yeah, and so I kind of was looking at
this is a deck 4.
Yeah, deck 4. So this one's a it's a basic deck. So but it's kind of it's a little bit of a variation on kind of what I do with a lot of the standard basic decks. This one actually does have a little bit more of a shield theme to it than I normally go with. But so we'll start with Agent 13 here. She is a 4-cost ally. She's a sealed spy, thwarts for 2, attacks for 1. But as a response, after she attacks or thwarts, you could choose a shield support to ready that support. Of course, we're going to have some extra shield supports in here, so she's going to have plenty of things to ready. I didn't pull one to show, but I would also actually probably have specifically for her copies of First Aid so that I can heal her up, so I can use her multiple times. Next here, I've got Dum Dum Duggan. So Dum Dum is is Duggan or Dugan? Dugan. Dum Dum Dugan. 5-cost ally. He thwarts for 3. He attacks for 3. He does take 3 consequential when thwarting and 2 when attacking. But he is shield, and as an interrupt, whenever you use one of his basic powers, you can exhaust up to 3 shield cards you control. And for each card exhausted that way, he gets +1 to that power for this use. So you can actually make him thwart or attack for 6. and he'll still actually survive that typically. Um, so also here I've got Mockingbird. She's one of the Shield allies that we've had in the game, probably I think among the longest
Well, she
of
came
any of
in
the
the
basic
she
Shield.
came in the core
Yeah,
set.
came in the core set. So, but she is a 3-cost ally. She thwarts for 1, attacks for 1, Shield Spy, and after she enters play, you can stun an enemy.
So for those who just have the basic box, you had a copy of Mockingbird and Nick in every deck.
Yes. All right. Next, though, now we got a couple that we got one that came out of the Maria deck. It's the Melinda May ally. She thwarts for 2, attacks for 2. She costs 4, has 3 hit points. But after she uses a basic power, you can look at the top card of the encounter deck, and then you can choose to discard that card. So then, if you see a really nasty one there, you can get rid of it. If it's one that doesn't look that bad, you can leave it there if you want to. But it's nice to be able to have a little bit of control over that deck, so that it's not just like pushing you around. Of course, Dave said one of the old classics, Nick Fury Jr. here. He is a 4-cost ally, thwarts for 2, attacks for 2. But after he enters play, you can choose to either remove 2 threat from a scheme, draw 3 cards, or deal 4 damage to an enemy. So he's really versatile with what he does. The only negative to him is at the end of the round, if he's still around, then you do have to discard him. So, that's the only negative there.
And he hates being called Junior.
Yeah, but you got to be able to differentiate it from Papa somehow.
That's why he made his dad legally change his name to Nick Fury Sr.
Well, Nick Fury Sr., he's a 4-cost ally, thwarts for 2, attacks for 2, 3 health. He's also a shield soldier, but as a force response, after he enters play, you can choose to either remove 3 threat from a scheme, draw 2 cards, or give a shield character a tough status. So his abilities are a little bit different, but similar to Nick Jr. Similar to Nick Fury. If he's still around at the end of the turn, you do have to discard him. But what's great is whenever you actually play one of those, draw the other one, and play that one and draw some more cards as well. That's fun.
Right.
And then
and they're founding members of the Disposables.
Yes, Dave's favorite new crew. So now the one ally I have in the deck that I've added that is not a shield, which, as soon as they get an honorary shield, maybe we'll talk about it, but is Lockjaw. Now, Lockjaw, I love him in the basic decks because he's a 4-cost ally, he thwarts for 2, attacks for 2, takes 2 consequential. But the great thing about him, and he does have 4 hit points. The great thing is, though, is you can play him from your discard pile during your turn, but you do have to play the resources. So you can actually use him for a resource to pay for something else, and then still play him in that turn, or play him later at the turn. So he is great for helping you to where you don't have dead hands. If you've got resources in your hand and nothing to spend them on, he gives you something to spend them on, which we have seen actually happen with these basic decks at times.
Sometimes you can get a resource heavy turn hand.
Yeah. Got here, Assess the Situation. This is also a card that we use in almost all of our basic decks. It's a 0-cost event, but you get +1 to hand size until the end of the turn as an action. Or until the end of the phase. So you play this one, and then whenever you draw up, you're basically drawing 1 additional card. So it's putting off. I mean, you can't just use it for the resource that turn. It puts off. It basically, you're spending a card to have a better selection of cards for your next turn. It sounds like a little bit of a wash, but it actually is beneficial because then you've actually got more resources to pay for the additional cards that you've gotten. So it's a little bit of a trade-off, but it turns up it's worked really well for us. I've also got here Front Office Organization. It's one of the newer support cards. It is 0-cost support. It is not shield, but even though it has the shield logo on the van, it is not a shield card. But you can play it under any player's control, max 1 per player. As an interrupt, whenever an encounter card would force you to discard a card, or whenever an encounter effect would force you to discard a card you control, you can discard this card instead of that card. So if you've got say an Avenger Mansion out there, and something comes up that's going to make you discard the highest cost upgrade or support you control, well, you can discard this instead and be able to save your Avenger Mansion.
So how much of a front organization is it if you advertise your secret organization on the side of the vehicle?
Well, Hey, they're not telling you that the shield, though. I mean, you gotta know what it means. But talking about shield supports, here's one. Now we've had it before, but it did also come in the Nick deck. But it is a 3-cost support, the Sky Destroyer. It's a shield vehicle, and as a response, after you play a shield card, which we've got a lot of them here, you can exhaust this and deal 2 damage to an enemy. So this one is great because you can use it in conjunction with, the Lethal Protector. So you play a shield card, you deal 2 damage to an enemy. If that kills it, then you also remove 2 threat from a scheme as well. So it's a good way to chain that there. Now, we've got a lot of shield cards, and they're not all the most expensive things in the world, but there are some pricey ones. So I'm actually thinking 2 copies of Team Building is probably going to go into the decks here so that you can actually play 2 shield cards in a turn at a discount. But what this does is it's a 2-cost support. As a hero action, you can exhaust it. Play a card from your hand that shares a trait with the hero, reduces the cost by 1. Now, I think Dave mentioned it, but I think I forgot to actually grab it. But they have, do you have one over there?
What?
The shield one, the government liaison. Government liaison does something similar. It's also, yeah, here we go. It's also a 2-cost support, but this one is a shield support. As a hero action, you can exhaust it, and you can play a shield card from your hand, reducing its cost 2. So you could choose to either go with 2 team buildings or 1 of each here. Very similar functionality, especially considering the fact that we are using a lot of shield cards, and that's the main one we're using here. But probably also using all 3 the double resources. But on top of that here, since everything's basic except for his kit cards, we're looking at the power of all of us here. So that gives you 2 wilds to play for a basic. I'm also looking at each of the enhanced cards. So we've got the enhanced awareness, physique, and reflex. I'll do something similar. 2-cost upgrades, but they come in with 3 counters on them, and you can exhaust and spend one of those counters to generate a resource of that particular color. So they're great resources on a stick. And the whole thought of the basic decks is you play a lot of cards out, and you get them out of your hand so that you're getting to your hero cards just as fast as you possibly can. So those, you've got them out there, but if you do need the resources, you can always use them, but that gets them out of your hand. Last couple of things I've got here is Dave did mention the fact that I do love the hero or the player side schemes. So the first one we've got here is build support. This is one I love in there because you play it, it's got victory 0, so when it goes away, it's not coming back to your hand. It costs 1 to play, but it's got 3 threat per player. But whenever you defeat it, each player gets to search their deck and discard pile for a support with a cost of 3 or less and put that one into play for free. So that's a great one.
That's how you can sneak Quinn Carrier.
Yep.
Or the iPack, which
Yeah.
I'm surprised Dirk didn't pull the iPack.
Well, I didn't pull it in there, even though I've got that card in there. I did not pull the iPack because I did kind of want to focus on the shield cards. But the iPack, one of my favorite supports, and look that one up if you don't know what it is, and you'll see why I love that card. And anytime I play a deck that can use it, I tend to play it. And we do have a way to use it, but it's going to kind of depend on what I'm doing. But specialized training here. This is the last card I've got. It is a 1-cost player side scheme. Comes in with 5 per player. But when you defeat it, each player who does not have a specialization card, then they get to choose one of these set aside specialization cards here, and there's 4 of them. They are 2-cost upgrades that they come into play, and each one of them has a different ability. But basically, it's whenever you get say we'll just look at the surveillance specialist here. The top one I've got on the list. You get +1 thwart, and then after you perform a basic thwart, you can exhaust it to draw a card. Each of them has something similar. They give you some kind of additional pump to one of your abilities, and when you use that ability, you get to draw a card. So, yeah, those are great ones. And like I said, once you play those player side schemes, they don't come back to your hand. So then you've got a thinner deck, and you can get to the hero cards a little bit faster. So that's kind of what I had. It does share a lot of cards, but it does have some definite shield specialization to my standard basic decks.
Okay. So deck 5 It's kind of a unusual deck. It is protection, but I'm not going with something with Winter Soldier specific. Well, I'm leaning towards the shield, of course, which he is. But I thought since he's shield on both sides, he could be a candidate for Fitzsimmons. So,
Ah,
because
okay.
uh,
I thought you were going to say a never come up. I'm like, I've never heard of that in protections.
yeah. Leo Fitz here, he costs 3, but you reduce the cost of 2 if your identity has shield. You have shield on both alter ego and hero, just like Maria and Nick. Alter ego action, exhaust Leo Fitz, search your deck for a tech card and add it to your hand. You'll see that in a minute. And Gemma Simmons, she costs 3, reduce it by 2. Exhaust Gemma Simmons to generate a mental resource for a tech card. So I thought, let's do a protection tech focus card, a
Yeah,
deck.
and I do like the whole Fitzsimmons idea, but I haven't really played around with it that much, just because it didn't fit into the decks that we were using for the
Right.
campaign.
Yeah,
So
but I'm thinking they might be work with this particular deck, which is tech focus. Um, and also shield. So we got Black Widow ally. She costs 3, 2 thwart, 1 attack, 2 hit points. Shield spy. When a character is revealed, when a card is revealed from an encounter deck, well, not a character. When a card is revealed from the encounter deck, exhaust Black Widow and spin a mental resource. Cancel the effect of that card and discard it. Then reveal another card from the encounter deck. So Brother Voodoo, I got him in here. He's 3 cost ally, 2 thwart, 2 consequential, 1 attack, 3 hit points, Avenger Mystic. So he doesn't share any traits, but after he enters play, you can search the top 5 cards of your deck for an event card and add it to your hand.
yeah, I do like him because of that. So I play in a lot of non-themed decks as well.
All right. And then since we're playing the tech game, this is a critical card for that deck, which is Repurpose. It's a 0 cost skill. Discard a tech upgrade you control. Ready your hero and choose thwart, attack, or defense until the end of the round. Your hero gets plus X to the chosen power, where X is equal to the cost of that tech upgrade. Okay, we'll get to the tech cards. We got some other ones here first. Then we got Winter Soldier's Secret Hideout. So 1 cost support.
Calling it Siberia. How's that?
Well, I don't know if you can. You can gain fatigue counters there, but I don't know if you can heal from them there. After you defend against an attack, place 1 fatigue counter here. Alter ego action. Remove each fatigue counter from here. Heal 1 damage from your identity for each fatigue counter. Move this way. So now this deck is probably going to go into alter ego a little bit more often than
And a lot of other
decks because of Fitz, action is alter ego. But it's a way to get these upcoming tech cards. Since it is protection, I just threw in an armored vest, 1 cost upgrade, play under any player's control, max 1 per deck. You get plus 1 defense. So that bring them up to a 3. And then we got the techs. I'll probably throw in a few defense events, but I didn't pull them because these are cards that I would put in anybody's deck. So like desperate defense and those kind of cards. But we got electrostatic armor, 1 cost upgrade, armor tech, play on any player's control. After you defend against an attack, deal 1 damage to the attacking character. Now this is a card I probably would not repurpose because it's
that one's just too good.
Yeah, but this is one I would.
This is a good candidate.
This is a good candidate. 2 cost, upgrade energy barrier, use 3 reflection counters. When you would take any amount of damage, remove 1 reflection counter from here, prevent 1 of that damage, then deal 1 damage to an enemy. And there's another card that I'll call in a second that's in the upcoming Silk deck. This is another good tech card. Force field generator, 3 cost upgrade. Uses 6 energy counters, max 1 per player. When you would take any amount of damage, remove that many energy counters from here. For each energy counter removed, this way prevent 1 damage. So this is really good if you can get it down to 1 counter at some point and then do the repurpose.
Yeah, and with that one, I don't know. I would have to kind of play that out on who the villain is that we're fighting. And it's like, if they swing big, I might actually leave that last counter there and not repurpose it. But if they're one of the smaller hitting villains, then definitely. So yeah,
Then we got just unflappable, just a really good card for protection when you since I got the energy barriers and a force field, especially the force field generator, I'm probably will take no damage. So then after you defend against an attack and take no damage, exhaust unstoppable, draw a card. Um, then a couple cards that I had before, I'm not going to go over them again, but we have Nick Fury Senior. They're just very useful. Um, Front organization, Dirk talked about this in his deck, but this is just good to keep you from losing a card until you're ready to.
Yep.
Because I want to repurpose those cards. I don't want to lose them from like caught off guard or something. And then Government Liaison, which can help pay for some of the shield cards that I got. And then Sky Destroyer, because I'm going to be playing a lot of shield cards, so that'll exhaust the deal 2 damage. Dirk kind of talked about that in his deck. Then these are cards that I had in some of my other decks. So Professor X, just to include
so we can have all the expendables.
All the disposables.
Oh, disposables. Sorry.
Yeah, War Machine he's pretty useful because he comes in tough, so he can actually defend once if take no damage. Team building is another option, but I do either Government Liaison or team building probably, or maybe one of each. Who knows? And then practice plan for preparation, which I don't have a lot of preparations that I pulled here, but that one preparation card he's got good. And there is a couple, I don't think I pulled it, the defensive stance.
No, you didn't have them in here, but there are definitely
I might put
cards that would fit, that would work with this.
Right. So. And I forgot to pull it, but with Winter Mask, he becomes a spy. Yes. Yeah, so I probably put an espionage in the deck as well, which didn't practice plan could grab that, but it's a nice. So whenever the surge keyword comes out, then you can draw 2 cards,
and that's a 0 cost card.
And that's a 0 cost card, yeah. But anyway, so this was sort of a weird deck idea that I thought. And then also with Silk. So if we go, it's not Silk, but.
Oh, there she went.
Yeah.
I saw the mask.
Yeah, so this is another card I would throw in the deck for sure, because Silk will be out before Winter Soldier comes out. So this Energy Shield, it costs 0, so you don't get the repurpose bonus, but when an attached character would take any amount of damage, spend X energy resources to prevent X of that damage. So who knows? I might.
Oh wow! Wait a minute.
I might put that. You can put that on Winter Soldier himself, or there's a couple allies you could do. Like I don't have Agent 13 pulled in this deck, but I could see.
There's a good candidate for throwing that in the deck.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Because you can't use the arm. Yeah, that's
or for cheating out the
Quinn Carrier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so that was just another tech card that I thought of from. I wouldn't repurpose this because you don't get any benefit from it.
I forgot all about this one, but yeah, this one. Yeah. You wouldn't. I wouldn't want to repurpose this one anyways because it's reusable.
Right. I mean, you can also put it on Winter Soldier. So but
that's actually what I was thinking.
Yeah. Or if I got energy, like Agent 13 would be another good.
Yeah, she would actually work really well with that.
All right. Because
although she's not as useful in protection as she is in some of the other colors. Like
I mean, you could still ready.
You still can
ready a helicarrier or something. Yeah. But anyways, so that was my deck 5 protection. All right. Well, so we're definitely looking forward to Falcon and Winter Soldier. They're coming in June currently.
Yeah, so we won't get to play it before.
Hopefully, no delays. Yeah. Well, but yeah, if you're going to be at Con of Heroes, we're going to be there. And Silk and Shuri are supposed to come out that day. So
yeah, the day the con starts, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe.
And if you want to see new content by us, go ahead and hit that notification bell down there, and you will get alerts whenever we post new videos.
All right.